Fighter pilots call it ugly. Pentagon officials tried to kill it 6 times, yet the A-10 Thunderbolt II remains the most feared aircraft on any battlefield. This attack jet violates every rule of modern fighter design. It's slow, lacks stealth, and looks like it was assembled from spare parts. But there's a reason enemy forces surrender when they hear its distinct engine sound, and that reason reveals engineering philosophy most people never consider. Welcome to Flight Deck. Today we're examining why the A-10 Warthog remains irreplaceable despite decades of retirement attempts, and how its supposedly outdated design actually represents the most advanced thinking about close air support warfare. The A-10's appearance shocks people seeing it for the first time. Modern fighters feature sleek lines and integrated designs. The A-10 looks like someone bolted engines onto a gun and added wings as an afterthought. The engines sit high on the fuselage in awkward pods. The cockpit protrudes forward like an observation tower. The entire aircraft seems disproportionate and ungainly, but every ugly feature serves specific purposes that become clear when you understand the mission. Close air support requires aircraft to operate in the most dangerous environment possible. Low altitude above enemy ground forces. Fighters zooming past at high speed can't identify friendly troops from enemies. They can't provide sustained fire support. They can't absorb ground fire and keep fighting. The A-10 was designed specifically to solve problems other aircraft couldn't handle, and that required abandoning conventional fighter aesthetics entirely. Those oddly placed engines mounting high on the fuselage serve critical survival functions. When the A-10 flies low over battlefields, it encounters intense ground fire. Mounting engines above the wings shields them from threats below. Infantry with rifles and machine guns shoot upward at attacking aircraft. The A-10's engine placement means the fuselage and wings absorb damage that would hit exposed engines on conventional fighters. Pilots have returned to base with massive holes in their aircraft because engines remained protected throughout the attack run. The engine positioning provides additional advantages beyond armor shielding. Infrared missiles track engine heat signatures. By mounting engines high and behind the wings, the A-10 reduces its thermal profile from below. Heat-seeking missiles lose lock more easily. The aircraft survives engagement with portable air defense systems that would destroy conventional fighters. Engine redundancy matters as much as positioning. The A-10 uses 2 General Electric TF-34 turbofans producing 9,065 pounds thrust each. Neither engine provides impressive performance individually. Together they barely push the aircraft past 420 miles per hour. But this redundancy means the A-10 continues flying and fighting after losing one engine. Pilots have landed safely on single engines after battle damage destroyed the other completely. That survival capability exceeds what faster, more powerful single-engine fighters offer. The titanium bathtub surrounding the cockpit represents the most visible armor protection on any American aircraft. This enclosure weighs 1,200 pounds and provides protection equivalent to 1.5 inches of steel armor. Pilots sit inside a shell that can withstand direct hits from 23mm cannon fire, the most common anti-aircraft weapon on battlefields worldwide. But the bathtub concept goes deeper than simple armor plating. Engineers designed this protection system understanding that close air support pilots face sustained fire from multiple directions. Unlike fighter pilots who might encounter a single missile or brief engagement, A-10 pilots intentionally fly into concentrated ground fire and remain in the target area for extended periods. The bathtub protects not just from lucky hits, but from the statistical certainty of taking fire during every mission. The armor extends beyond the cockpit. Flight control systems receive armored protection. Fuel tanks feature self-sealing foam that prevents fire after penetration. Hydraulic lines run through protective channels. Even the landing gear was designed assuming battle damage. The main gear partially extends and locks even with total hydraulic failure, allowing controlled crash landings rather than catastrophic gear-up impacts. This damage tolerance philosophy appears throughout the aircraft. Dual hydraulic systems provide complete redundancy. If both hydraulic systems fail, the A-10 features manual reversion, allowing pilots to control the aircraft through direct mechanical linkages. No other modern combat aircraft offers this capability. Pilots can literally fly the A-10 home using pure muscle force to move control surfaces after battle damage destroys all powered systems. The GAU-8 Avenger cannon represents the most powerful aircraft gun ever deployed. This weapon defines the entire aircraft design in ways most people don't realize. The gun measures 19 feet long and weighs 4,000 pounds loaded. It fires 30mm depleted uranium rounds at 3,900 rounds per minute. Each round hits with enough kinetic energy to penetrate tank armor. The recoil force generated by this weapon exceeds the thrust produced by one engine. When pilots fire the GAU-8, the aircraft actually slows down from recoil force. This reality required specific engineering solutions. The gun mounts off-center to counteract rotational torque. The nose landing gear offsets to one side, making room for the gun barrel. The entire front fuselage was designed around weapon integration rather than weapon being fitted to an existing airframe. Ammunition capacity matters as much as firepower. The A-10 carries 1,150 rounds of 30mm ammunition. This allows sustained fire support rather than quick bursts. Pilots can engage multiple targets, suppress enemy positions, and provide cover for ground troops over extended periods. Compare this to modern fighters carrying perhaps 500 rounds of 20mm ammunition. The A-10 provides battlefield presence that fast movers simply cannot match. The gun's effectiveness comes from more than raw power. A-10 pilots train specifically for gun employment against ground targets. They understand how to approach targets, manage altitude and airspeed for accurate fire, and adjust for wind and target movement. This specialized skill set, combined with purpose-built weapon systems, creates lethality that multi-role fighters cannot replicate even with more modern equipment. The distinctive engine sound strikes fear into enemy forces for good reason. Those TF-34 turbofans produce a low-frequency drone completely unlike the high-pitched scream of fighter jets. Ground troops hear the A-10 approaching long before seeing it. That sound means precision firepower is about to rain down on their positions. Iraqi soldiers during Desert Storm surrendered specifically citing A-10 attacks. Taliban fighters in Afghanistan retreated immediately upon hearing Warthogs overhead. The psychological impact of the A-10's presence exceeds its physical firepower. But the sound also serves friendly forces. Allied troops on the ground recognize the A-10's distinctive engines immediately. They know close air support has arrived. They understand the aircraft overhead was designed specifically to protect them and engage enemy forces in close proximity. This psychological reassurance matters during intense ground combat when friendly air support can determine survival. Loiter time separates the A-10 from faster attack aircraft fundamentally. Modern fighters zoom into combat areas, deliver weapons, then leave to refuel. The A-10 arrives on station and remains overhead for extended periods. Pilots can observe battlefield developments, coordinate with ground commanders, adjust tactics in real time, and provide sustained fire support. This presence transforms close air support from brief strikes to persistent battlefield dominance. The weapon's flexibility enhances this loiter capability. Beyond the GAU-8 cannon, the A-10 carries an extensive array of precision munitions, rockets, and bombs on 11 hardpoints. Pilots can engage targets with appropriate weapons based on specific tactical requirements. Armor threat gets 30mm depleted uranium. Fortified positions receive laser-guided bombs. Infantry positions take rocket fire. The A-10 provides ground commanders with a flying artillery platform that adapts to evolving battlefield conditions. The retirement debate reveals fundamental disagreements about modern warfare requirements. Air Force leadership has attempted to retire the A-10 repeatedly, arguing that newer multi-role fighters like the F-35 can perform close air support missions. The argument sounds logical. Why maintain an old specialized aircraft when modern fighters offer broader capabilities? Ground commanders and combat veterans understand why this reasoning fails. The F-35 costs $80 million per aircraft and carries expensive stealth technology. Commanders won't risk these premium assets flying low and slow through ground fire. The F-35 performs close air support from high altitude using precision weapons. This approach works against isolated targets, but fails to provide the sustained presence and immediate response that troops in contact require. The A-10 costs $20 million and was designed specifically to absorb damage. Commanders send Warthogs directly into the most dangerous environments because the aircraft was built for exactly those conditions. The pilots train exclusively for close air support missions. The weapon systems optimize for ground attack. The survival features assume battle damage. No multi-role fighter replicates this specialized capability regardless of technological advancement. Afghanistan and Iraq operations proved this reality repeatedly. Despite having newer fighters available, ground commanders consistently requested A-10 support. The aircraft logged more combat hours and provided more effective close air support than any other platform. Troops on the ground wanted the ugly jet that was built to protect them, not the fast movers that provided brief appearances between other missions. The upgrade programs demonstrate how old airframes can receive modern capabilities. The A-10C model features advanced targeting pods, digital flight controls, and modern communication systems. Pilots now employ precision weapons with the same accuracy as newer fighters while retaining the gun employment and battlefield loiter advantages. The cockpit received complete modernization, including multifunction displays and hands-on throttle and stick controls. Wing replacement programs extend the fleet's service life into the 2030s and potentially beyond. New wings provide strength for continued high-stress operations while reducing maintenance requirements. The Air Force essentially rebuilds entire aircraft around the core systems that make the A-10 effective. This investment level indicates recognition that no replacement currently exists despite official retirement discussions. The weapons integration continues advancing. The A-10 now employs laser-guided rockets, advanced targeting systems, and data link capabilities for coordinated attacks. These upgrades transform a 1970s design into a modern precision attack platform while maintaining the fundamental advantages that made the original aircraft irreplaceable. So why does the Pentagon keep trying to kill the ugly jet that troops on the ground love? Because the A-10 represents specialized thinking in an era favoring multi-role flexibility. Because maintaining a dedicated close air support aircraft requires different training, tactics, and logistics than modern fighter operations. Because the A-10's effectiveness challenges assumptions about technology and capability that drive fighter development. But the aircraft survives retirement attempts because its ugly design actually represents perfectly optimized engineering for a specific mission. Those awkward engines provide survival advantages sleek fighters cannot match. That heavy armor enables operations in environments that would destroy modern jets. That massive gun delivers firepower no other aircraft carries. The A-10 Thunderbolt II remains unkillable not despite its ugly appearance, but because every ungainly feature serves purposes that look good on paper but work better in combat. What aspect of the A-10's design surprised you most? The titanium bathtub armor, the gun's recoil force, or the strategic engine placement? Let me know in the comments. If you want more deep dives into military aviation engineering and combat operations, subscribe to Flight Deck. Until next time, remember that the most effective weapon systems often prioritize function over form, and sometimes ugly wins wars.